Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of How Are You Living? I hope you're doing well. I don't know about you, but this week has absolutely flown by for me. And I think it has for most people, but even going through a healing journey like I am, big surgery in January, home a lot, and then had a lung biopsy in May, time's just flown by. But I think when you are being more conscious, more aware, and more present, you are creating that space, that gap between past and future, where your perception of time does change. So maybe that's why it's gone so quick for me. But that said, I've spoken to friends, patients, and family members, and everyone's saying that it's going extremely fast. So it's important that we are intentionally navigating life. So that's why today I'm going to talk about intention setting, why it's important. And it's a natural follow-on from my last podcast to do with self-talk. So you can either go through life bumbling along, hoping that everything falls into place, and with some good luck and good fortune, it might. But unfortunately, for most of us, it doesn't. So by setting intentions, it allows us to stretch ourselves and to reach our purpose. And the Latin word for intention, which I'm not going to pronounce or try and say, is actually broken down as stretching and purpose. So when you are setting an intention, the main thing is you are being conscious and present and mindful. So you are starting to bring things to the forefront of your mind, and by consciously thinking about these things, you're going to be able to create a better internal environment. And this ties in with that concept of neuroplasticity, where you can actually rewire and change the function of your brain. And if you say negative things, so negative self-talk, you're going to create a negative environment within. If you are setting an intention, which is positive, you're going to create a positive environment, which is then going to have a ripple effect on everything that you do. And there really is no need to overcomplicate this topic. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, just to plant a seed within your brain, within the thought processes, so you can start to implement it straight away. So when you are conscious, so when you are setting intentions, you are removing the 95% of the subconscious thoughts that are running the show day to day. This is great if those 95% subconscious thoughts are positive, but I think for a lot of us, these have been developed over many years from childhood, and they run the show. So if you're not consciously setting an intention, you are hoping that that 95% is doing you proud or doing you well or serving you well and helping you show up as you want to be in this world. But I think if we're all honest with each other, there are things that we want to change, want to help improve and grow to show up better. And you only can do that when you are intentional about your thoughts, about your actions. So I want to go over what I have been doing for setting an intention, because sometimes when you hear someone doing what they're doing, it's easier for you to digest and understand. So one thing to bear in mind is if you set an intention, it's not just going to affect that goal or purpose. So say if you want to grow a business, you set an intention that helps move you towards that goal, it will have a ripple effect on every aspect of your life, which is great because we're not just a businessman or a father or a mother or a friend. We're all of those things together. So it's good to know if you're working on one area, it will have a positive impact on every area. So back to my intentions. My main one at the minute, which is a long-term intention. So again, they can be short-term intentions, day-to-day intentions, weekly, monthly, yearly. But this one is kind of an infinite intention that I'm going to be saying every day for the foreseeable. So the main intention that I am setting myself at the moment is to get out of my way, particularly in here. So to not overthink and just enjoy and embrace the process, whatever I am doing at that moment in time. So this applies to everything that I'm doing, whether it be while I'm at work, adjusting people, learning to swim, exploring Islam, anything, insert whatever I'm doing in that moment. It just allows me to be present in that moment, to be conscious. And for me, that's all intention setting is, just to be consciously aware. Is it serving you what you're doing in that moment or what you're thinking in that moment, or isn't it? Because if you are just hoping that you wake up in the morning and you get to the end of the day and you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, it's very unlikely that has happened unless you're trying to achieve nothing that day, which again is completely fine. You don't always have to be go, go, go. And that's why some of these people I see on social media that are showing you 365, sleep when you're dead, keep going, keep going. Unfortunately, that is bullshit, because that is impossible to sustain that level of energy and be efficient at the same time. Yes, there are periods of go, 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 but there are also periods of pause, reflect, introspect, rest. So be careful when you see those people on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're consuming this information, because you have to have a balance between the two. So back to that intention of getting out my own way, that's going to affect everything. But you can have different intentions depending on the goal. Say if it is to get busier at work, what can you intentionally do every day to move you towards that goal? If you have a fitness and health goal, you need to be intentional about how you get from where you are now to where you want to go. So you'll have to look at your daily movement. What are you eating? Are you getting enough rest? Are you managing your thoughts? Just start to bring these areas, these topics to your conscious awareness, and then set that intention. And I like to relate back to my healing journey, because healing and expressing health is an intentional action. You can't heal, or you can't expect to heal, if you are not intentionally putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into the process. And you have to be an active participant. You can't expect to get where you want to be if you're a backseat driver. You need to take control, you need to take responsibility, and you need to be driving that vehicle to where you want to go. And when you are healing, you have to put everything into it. You can't expect to get to where you want to be if you're not. And compared to how I was in January the 10th, I couldn't even walk. I was in hospital for 3 weeks. I was in bed for 10. And when I took that first step, for a moment, I thought I wasn't going to walk again. If I'd carried on thinking that, and that was my intention, I ain't going to walk again, it's very unlikely that I would be where I am at now. But what I did was consciously, everything that I did, I directed towards expressing health and healing. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, because healing's about balance throughout mind, body, and soul. And you need to be managing physical stress, emotional stress, chemical stress. And I'd really nailed the physical stress. So I was making sure I was moving well, not too much, stretching daily, moving daily, started to cycle, started to swim. The chemical stress is something that I've really honed in on. So no alcohol, no sugars, no inflammatory foods. I've started using soaps with less chemicals in. For the moment, I'm organic, plant-based, just to really reduce that chemical stress. And then emotional stress. And this is something that I think is going to be the key to my complete healing journey and process. Because for lots of us, we've had problems growing up, whether they be childhood traumas, so circumstance events that may have subconsciously affected you. So by bringing it into that conscious realm, it can be very uncomfortable. And I think this is one area that I might have been avoiding. I have been having therapy for nearly 2 years. But just recently, I think I found another piece to the puzzle in regards to helping deal with emotional stress. So my point here is you have to look at health, healing, and optimal health expression from all angles. Everything affects everything. And you have to understand that where we are now has taken time to get there. You haven't woken up today and you are the person that you are. It has been going on throughout your whole life. Your daily actions, behaviors, subconscious intentions, conscious intentions has sculpted you and produced the person who you see in the mirror now. So just be aware of this, that it is going to take time to change, and that's okay. There's no rush. Just aim to be a little bit better each day. Aim for progress, not perfection, but you will get there a lot quicker if you are intentional about it. So I hope this video has helped. I wanted to keep it short. I wanted to keep it sweet. And I just wanted to get you thinking that, are you being intentional with how you are showing up each day? If not, just bring awareness to it. And we need to be aware to create change. So even if this video has just created a bit of awareness, it is the start of the process. But tomorrow, when you're getting up in the morning, after you've practiced your gratitude, and if you aren't practicing gratitude, I suggest you should be, but that's a topic for a different video. Because what I do is do my gratitude, which then ties nicely into my intention setting. And you can do this either writing or saying, but just set an intention saying, today I will be calm, collected, conscious, pause before responding. That could be one intention. And what you'll find is you'll probably be navigating through that day a bit calmer, a bit easier, rather than reactive, for example. But these intentions can literally be anything. I intend to move myself to better health, better fitness, so I'm going to move more. So what then you might do is park a little bit further from the doors of the supermarket or the doors of the gym. You might take the stairs more than the elevator. So you need to figure out what it is you want to do, why it is that you're doing these things, and how are you going to do it. And then you need to be intentional about it. So I hope this has helped. If you have got any questions, please do pop them in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video and you've got to the end, give it a thumbs up. And if you know anyone that this video may help, please do share, because this channel is all about helping people. And if it just helps one person, it has all been worthwhile. And I look forward to seeing or speaking to you very soon. Peace.